Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our TGIF and Product Owner episode this week with Cristina Cranga. Hey, Cristina, welcome back.
Hello. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you here and to talk about Product Owner. It's the I think one of the most exciting episodes of the week because, of course, the Product Owner role is so critical for the success of our teams. So We'll talk about great product owners in a second. But before we go there, share with us, what was perhaps the worst product owner anti-pattern you witnessed in your career?
The worst, I think, is the output obsession. Success is measured by how much is delivered, not what changes, what really changes. And I think this, in my opinion, is one of the most common anti-pattern, and is what I've noticed lately. This output obsession.
How does it show up, like in practical terms, in your experience?
What I noticed, what happens if velocity replaces outcomes. Teams get faster, but not smarter. Faster is not equal to to smarter, and and the challenge, as you mentioned, as practitioners, is how do we shift that? How do we shift that? The strongest PO role, I think, is when you do different choices. Like you start, with owning. You start owning your decisions at team level for starting. That's one great signal that you can send out to the team, to the whole team. They make decision explicit, and the results are coming. You have a faster alignment, no decision hallucination, to mention the term again in our conversation. Term. They treat uncertainty as part of their job. It's not a drag. It's just there. It's part of the job. And our more engaged teams are willing to experiment more, and they connect to work, to value, in a nutshell. And that's what it brings, in my opinion, success, and it makes a great PO a PO. And PO is actually an important role, because between PO and Scrum Master, it's a special bond. It's like a strong leadership, and it's a strong partnership. And teams, they have as a reference these two functional roles. It's important to give them a good example of what is actually, the agile and the leadership itself.
Yeah, I really like that partnership aspect that you mentioned. I used to call this the PO being the Batman to our Robin, right? Like it's Batman and Robin, and they need to work together. Otherwise, they end up making both themselves worse off than if they partnered. And I think that's also one of the things that we as Scrum Masters need to keep in mind is the question: how do I build a better relationship with my PO?
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, with all team members, but PO, yeah, I think it's not an optional, it's an optional choice. It's a mandatory,
Yeah, we have to. That's it.
Build up solution. You have to be there for them.
But not all POs are difficult to work with or unsuccessful. Some are amazing, and we want to focus on one example. So share with us, Cristina, the best product owner you've ever worked with. How did they work?
Yeah. Well, my case, because we speak about he was a people person and a leader. And I think these are the most, qualifying attributes for the role. The human skills, not necessarily, the hard skills as they used to call them, but the human skills, But yeah, what I've liked very much, what I appreciated is the level of conversation with the team, the engage of the team, the presencing with different stakeholders, and the fact that he started with clarifying the problem first and then decide, which I appreciated very much. By doing that, he actually separated request, from decision, and made at the time the trade-offs explicit. It was, as I mentioned, very comfortable by saying, I don't know. I don't know yet what we should do. What do you think? It was a conversation. It was, a bi-directional conversation, not just one-way conversation. And I think that's something that makes a great PO a great PO.
Absolutely. You mentioned conversation several times this week.
Yes.
I want to dive into that a little bit because I think it's worth opening up what that term and that process means for you. Share with us, when you talk about conversation, you talked about it in different contexts on the Monday episode, for example. What do you mean in practice?
Well, in practice, I'm going to use this line: ask more, say less. When you ask questions, you collect information. That will help you to have a decision-making process more closer to a validated solution. You are listening, you are engaging, and you are producing a decision, a result, a feedback based on data collected from people around you. It might be at work or it might be at home. Why not? It's not just communicating. It's more than that. It's a conversation.
Yeah, and I hear in what you're saying that when you say it's not just about communicating, I hear that you're also putting an emphasis on this listening aspect, which you also mentioned
active
before.
Listening.
Yeah, and what I was wondering is, so I've read a lot of Esko Kilpi's work. Esko Kilpi is a business philosopher may he rest in peace. He died a few years ago. He's from Finland, and he used the term conversation a lot, but he never used it in the context of just two people, right? Like he talked about organizational conversations. He talked about strategic conversations, and not the strategy of the conversation, but rather the strategy of the company, which is being defined in many multiple and simultaneous conversations happening without knowledge of each other, right? So when I hear you talk about this emphasis on the listening, I'm kind of, it triggers in me this thought of a conversation as an organic process that is happening between multiple people, not just between us and another or us and a group, but it's happening between multiple people at the same time. It's happening through corridor conversations, coffee discussions, meetings, formal conversations, and so on and so forth. And that aspect that you bring up on the listening side, and now going back to the product owner, I also have this insight, and I would like to hear your thoughts, that a lot of the product owner's work is to be listening to these conversations, even when they are fuzzy, unclear, multi-directional, perhaps even contradictory, to try to make sense, to synthesize what is the actual core of where the organization wants to go with the product, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, by role, he has the ownership of the delivery and value creation, as we mentioned in the previous conversation that I had. But in the process, I think it's important, to involve the team members. And I have this example in mind when I'm saying that, developers, for example, they can co-create solution actually. So it's a shared responsibility. It's not just on PO shoulders, to have the right solution at the right time for the right target. It's a co-creation decision.
Yeah, and that's exactly the word that Esko Kilpi used to use, which was this shared organic value co-creation through conversations.
Exactly.
And you brought those topics up several times during this week, and it kind of triggered that thought in me that we aren't talking a lot about the role of conversation in how we make decisions, in how we organize, in how we prioritize, and of course, how we relate to each other.
Yeah. There is another book that I can recommend. It's called Nonviolent Communication. It's written by a famous, psychologist, American psychologist, Marshall Rosenberg. It's beautiful because actually the conversational process, the communication process, has 4 components in his opinion, in his study. And one is the observation. The first one is observation. The second, feelings. Third, needs. And the last, requests. And it makes you think, Vasco. So the communication is all of them, all 4 components. You start with observation, feelings, needs, and close the loop with requests. I really recommend that for reading. It's a good reading.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have quite a few episodes on NVC. So if you want, go and read the book. It's a life-changing book, at least for me it was. But if you're not yet at the point where you want to read the book, go and check out some of those episodes. Listen to those. The link is in the show notes. Cristina, we're about to end. But before we go, if people want to get in touch to know more about you and the work that you're doing, where could they go?
Well, I'm not a very active, user of social media, but still, I'm on LinkedIn, so I suggest LinkedIn as the touch point for having a conversation with the listener if they want to connect with me. Of course,
absolutely. So I'll put the link to that in the show notes as well. And
I appreciate it.
Why not reach out to Cristina, share your story, hear what she's learned, because we learn as a community. Cristina, thank you very much for being here and being so generous with your time and your knowledge.
Very much appreciated, Vasco. And good luck to you all. I really appreciate your show. It's very important and it's helpful for the agile practitioner, but not only. It's important talk. So keep going. Thank you very much. Take care.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into No Estimates, we got the pioneers of No Estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.